All right, joining me here now on the Matthew Filipowicz Show is my friend Meg Mantis. Meg Mantis is an activist and a community organizer in Chicago, Illinois, where she works in nonprofit communications. You can also follow her on Twitter at Meg Mantis. Meg, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so Meg, last week you organized a No Ventra protest in Chicago, Illinois. If people don't live in Chicago and haven't heard, what exactly is Ventra?
Well, basically, we have the CTA here, which is like the MTA in New York. It's just the name of our public transit system, the buses and the trains. And the payment aspect of it has been privatized with a company called Ventra. So, understandably, people have been upset about it, people who are typically against things like privatization. But what really made things interesting is that the system is so messed up and so faulty that kind of everyday citizens who aren't normally activists and don't normally, care about kind of things like that, are getting really furious. First, they tried to have a thing where it was hooked in to your bank. Well, I mean, they wanted it hooked in your bank account, but they wanted you to use it as a debit card. Mm-hmm. And then there were going to be all these hidden fees and things like that. They're trying to push the card as well. If you lose it or it gets stolen, the value will stay on it. But that was already true if you had a certain kind of card with the system that we already had.
The old CTA cards, right? If you had one of the plastic ones that actually had the value.
But if you got a special card called the Chicago Card Plus, then that would be true anyway. So it was already well, you're not impressing me, Ventra. So, Ventra has been just a total disaster. The machines don't work a lot of the time. There's been huge backups during rush hour at turnstiles when, say, there's 3 turnstiles and only one is accepting the cards. People get charged twice. Because it works on a chip and you just scan it, people, if they have that chip in another kind of card, like a bank card, sometimes that bank card gets charged instead.
Wow.
Sometimes people get charged on their way off the bus accidentally, and unlike DC, we don't charge based on length of trip or whatever. You pay.
It's a flat fare.
Come in only, yeah. So,
right.
People try, even the machines have been broken. I mean, it's been really, really bad. Apparently, the CTA has not even paid Ventra yet because they're saying that this is completely messed up and, so we're not going to pay for it until you fix it. Also, they made the deadline for the card switchover. You had to switch over by November 15th, and now that's been extended indefinitely. Because also people haven't gotten their cards in the mail. And then one guy got 100 cards. Dead people have gotten cards. I thought the only thing dead people did in Chicago was vote, but
right. Well, it was crazy. I actually came to visit a couple months ago because I used to live in Chicago before I moved to Boston, and I flew into O'Hare and I saw there's new machines, and I'd heard a little bit about them, and I remember seeing friends of mine post on Facebook and Twitter their problems with it, and so but I just remember that in the back of my head. But I went to get a card, and it didn't work. It's just literally the line was 20 people deep at O'Hare, and you'd have to wait forever, and then the machine just didn't work. You'd put your information in and you put money in, it just wouldn't work. And that was months ago. And from everything I've heard, none of those problems have actually been fixed. In fact, in many cases, as you're talking about, they've actually gotten worse.
Yeah, it's welcome to our fair city. The city that works.
Enjoy this airport lobby here. This is where you're going to stay.
You want to hang out for a while, in this long line. I've seen it. It's bad. I have not switched over to Ventra. I canceled
Good.
my Chicago Card Plus, and I told them this is why I'm canceling it. Because I don't want to switch over to Ventra. Hilariously, the day after the protest, there was a major, system-wide malfunction of Ventra, just in time for rush hour on the way home from work Wednesday. So thousands of commuters ended up not paying. Because this is what's been happening.
They physically had to let them through because the machines just weren't working.
Oh, they do this a lot, actually. Which is some people have talked about doing a fare strike, or mass turnstile jump or things like that to protest Ventra, and I'm like, that already happens all the time. We're not paying.
Ventra's doing the protest for you.
Right. So it was really exquisite timing because it was the day of the budget vote, because the hearing was the day before the budget vote, which I didn't actually know, and someone had said this at the hearing. He said, just so everybody knows, nothing you say tonight will be incorporated into the budget because the vote is tomorrow.
So
is appalling and ridiculous. But listen, I have to say, they think that the reason that the machines malfunctioned on the Wednesday of the vote is because of the cold. I heard rumors that they think it's because of the cold.
Well, that's. I mean, it's not like Chicago ever gets cold.
Right.
I mean, it's Chicago's like Key West. It's constantly warm. It's Chicago is a tropical paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.